20 minutes before you start that update.
What is this? Please plug your headset to the same.
All right.
Hello and welcome to the next round of US Touring Car Virtual Championship. This will be an exciting one. This is a very special event. We are going to the most famous racetrack in the whole world, the Nurburgring.
Yes, we
So
have an
my
exciting
name,
race here. Yep.
oh yeah, definitely. So my name is James Govea, otherwise known as the Brow around the paddock, and I am here with the infamous Reza.
Hello, how
Hello,
are you,
Reza.
James? Yes.
I'm doing well, thank you. I have my beer in front of me here. I'm ready to go.
Perfect. Yep, taking a little detour. This time I won't be in the driver's seat, but I'll be able to watch everyone and commentate on them for the viewing pleasure, right? Definitely going to be a good race.
All right, speeding Sunday.
And I think the drivers are just now getting on the grid. Let's see. Swap the lane. See the first person out on track. Martin 6, Martin Schwartz. How is he doing? just to inform the viewers here, this, like James said, we're at the Nurburgring, big, large, combined 15-mile, 100-something corner, whatever, track. We're going to have a short little practice here, and then we go into the race. The first race will be dry, and the second race will be in heavy, snowy conditions, something I don't think any of the drivers are prepared for.
Yeah, this will definitely be a unique one. Snow. Wow, I'm excited. Especially for the people from California that never see snow.
Yeah, I think this will be a little bit of a different experience for them. I don't think any of the touring car drivers have raced in the snow in real life, so the joys of having a virtual series that you can control the weather means that you can give everyone a new experience.
Yeah, there you go. It's going to be exciting. Do a little of that sideways action.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
That was Charlie. Yeah, it looks like Charlie. So Charlie was saying that he's actually going to be splitting the race, splitting the two races with his teammate Chris. So Charlie's doing the first race, so I think this will be Charlie in the car, and then Chris is going to be doing the second race, Chris Everson. So they'll be sharing that one car this weekend, just like they do on a normal weekend sharing the vehicle. So.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let me adjust
Exciting.
audio here.
Yeah, I heard they're off to Buttonwillow or something of a kind this weekend.
Yes, they are. They're doing
Right.
a test day, so they should be having some fun.
Nice.
Turn up our mics here temporarily, I think. Turn up the audio. Let's see. Hopefully that's a little bit better on the game audio sound. Yeah, they're doing a test weekend. I think Sean will be there as well, Sean Milburn. I don't know if he's on track
Oh, yeah?
yet.
All right.
Yep, Sean's on
Exciting.
track. So they'll all be on track, and it'll be hopefully a good weekend before the Sonoma testing that I know a lot of drivers are going to as well over the weekend. So,
Nice. Well, I hope to see some of the drivers there. I'm going to get out there and throw my car around a little bit.
definitely.
Getting itchy. It's been too long since I've been to the track.
I know the virtual season has kept us at bay for much of the off season, but I think as we're almost at the end of March here, the drivers are getting itchy for some real life action. And you can see, I think, the Sean, and that'll be who is behind him. Roger? It's not Roger. Tristan. Who's behind him?
So this is interesting. How many laps do you think they'll get in for practice? A 20-minute practice isn't very many laps in
It
this
isn't,
place.
yeah, and I think the session might have been set up differently because I think we only have 6 minutes remaining here. So
Oh, wow.
I think it was
So they
only
get one lap.
a 10-minute session rather than a 20, so even less practice. But yeah, I think someone put it best is that, oops, a little sideways in the background there, is that these drivers will get pretty good at Sector 1, right?
Yeah.
They'll keep
true.
resetting, and Sector 1 will be better than Sector 3 for sure. So those who have more practice on this track, I know this was a highly requested track since actually the first season. It's been 3 or 4. This is the 4th season I think that we've done. This is a track that we haven't come to, the combined track, the full Nordschleife, and it's something that all the drivers have wanted for since the beginning. So we'll see who's been practicing and who hasn't.
Well, Sean's looking pretty good there so far, except for the busted up car, but he's still going around the track, which if you can make it even like a quarter of a lap around here, that's already pretty impressive.
Yes, so I'll switch to a different screen just so we can inform everyone of the point situation here. So Sean Milburn currently leading the points with a total of 915 points after the 2 drops. And close behind him is Nick Romano on 889 points. So 26 points separates the 2 leaders there. So if I go back, basically what that means is that if Nick wins both races and Sean comes second in both races, Sean will retain the championship lead. However, if 2/3 is not good enough for Sean if Nick wins both races. So we can update the viewers on the situation as the races unfold. So definitely
All
close
right,
up
well,
there. We'll
The
see.
pressure's on Sean. He needs some good finishes.
It is. Good to see Nick on the track. He was having some technical problems. So he is going well, that looks like. No laps on the board yet. Let's see if we can see any sector times. Nope, no sector times or anything. So we'll throw the map on the screen. And you can see everyone is kind of in the same section of the track, and Nick's a little bit further behind. But definitely looking good for all the drivers. Let's see. Hopefully the dry race should have some more control shown by the drivers, but you never know. It's the last week, last chance for these drivers to get a win. I think only 4 drivers have won this season, so whoever hasn't gotten that win and might be out of the points championship definitely would be looking for that. Just one victory on the whole season might save their season.
So Reza, since this is such a challenging racetrack, what do you think? Do you think some of the people in the back who are conservative and just try to make it through without any issues may come out on top? If the front runners are hitting the wall every 3 corners, then
definitely, yeah. I think
you have a hard time to win.
This is one of those tracks where I think it's less about knowing the track because there's so much to know, and more about knowing your car, knowing what you can get away with in your car, knowing. If I, floor it from this point out, will I get understeer or oversteer? Knowing how good you are on the brakes, how good the car is on the brakes, and really leaving a little bit of margin, right? If you go 100% into every corner, you'll make it about a third of the way along the track before you get to a corner that's tighter than you think, and you'll be in the wall. And for 20 minutes with that aero damage on these long straights, even the gains you would have had will be all pulled back on the aero damage. So I think those who kind of keep it clean, it's a long race. We've always said that. It's a long race. You're not going to win it in the first lap. Definitely not in the first corner. So having a good car all the way to the end will definitely be key, but also knowing your car is going to be very important.
All right. Makes sense. So who's your favorite for this race?
Favorite for this race? That's a difficult one. I think Nick is going to be tough to beat. I think Nick is one of those drivers who has a very good at learning new tracks quickly, and he's obviously very quick, and I think he'll adapt the quickest of the drivers. But Sean's in the championship lead for a reason, right? He's been a very consistent driver. I think his worst finish is a 5th or a 6th or something throughout the whole season, which is incredible considering the amount of damage you can sustain through a single race. So I think the two of them will be definitely up front, hopefully, when things settle out. But as terms of underdogs go, Firoz has won a couple races this season. I think he'll be there, and Charlie or Chris, either one, I think will have a very good chance of finishing well.
All right. Well, there's your predictions.
What about yourself? Who do you think?
I think, I don't know, Milburn and Nick are very hard to beat, but as we discussed earlier, they're also very aggressive, and it's going to be so easy to mess up your car. Yes. So I'm kind of thinking some of the mid people who had mid-pack finishes typically, I think they have a good chance to come out on top. It's the cautious driver who may win this one, right? If they can keep it off the walls, they may drive right past the rabbits who are sitting on setting tracks. Because definitely to be fast in this game, you have to take chances, and when it's a track that you're familiar with, you know where to take those chances. But when you're unfamiliar with the track, you might not know where to take chances and where not to take those chances. So, like you're saying, a little bit of caution at the beginning of the race, avoiding some collisions and avoiding the walls will be important. Another thing we're looking at here is the straight line speed. So Charlie's got a little bit of aero damage here, but I think the Opel might be running out of gearing, if I hear correctly. So it'll be... Oh yeah, it does sound that way. Huh.
That'll be an interesting battle, right? Looks like maybe the BMW has the straight line speed, but if with some aero, they might not. So, okay, looks like this session's ending here. Oh, Charlie's going all over the place.
That was a hard hit.
Yeah, don't want to be doing that during the race. I think that'll end your race real quick. Let's see who else is still out there. I think Nick will still be on a lap. He was furthest back. So, I think we're going to be transitioning into a new lobby here in a second. So we'll have...
Ooh, Nick's looking fast there.
Yeah, zooming, right? So using every inch that he can, every inch he dares,
Yeah,
right?
nice slide going on there too. Impressive.
That is the way you have to drive these cars. So um, it's going to be one of those exciting races. So we'll get into the race. I think, is the audio doing okay for everybody? I know we had some balance issues. I don't know if those issues are fixed now. But we're going to be transitioning. Oh, as we say that, Nick loses it. Look at that.
Oh man. Well, at least he got some practice in before
He did.
that happened.
But again, it's a track where you wouldn't expect Nick to lose it in the race, but Sector 3, it's one of those sectors where almost all the drivers are driving blind, and it can happen. It can happen very easily, and someone who's taking it more conservatively will have a chance to go by. So
I'm gonna go a little bit out there with my pick. I think I'm gonna go for Michael McCulligan this race.
That is an excellent pick.
He's always very consistent, and he's always good at staying out of trouble. So I'm
agree.
gonna go with him for this race.
That would be an excellent choice. So I hope for Michael. We'll keep an eye on him. I think he's in the pits right now, so that means he's confident that he's going to win the race, right? If you're in the pits.
Yes. Oh, he's making his crew work there. Oh, look at that.
Well, that's okay. They'll get that tidied up. Touring car teams are no joke. They'll have that thing better than new in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, these virtual crews, it's amazing. They can rebuild a car in like 10 seconds. Incredible.
Yes, very incredible. So they will. I think one time someone pitted with a BMW and came out of the pits with an Opel. That's how good they are. So.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're gonna go away. We'll go to the loading screen here, and we'll get things sorted, and we'll return for the race. Just give us a couple minutes. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back, guys. We just sorted out all the lobbies and everything, so we should have a good race here. Everyone's in the lobby, no technical issues to speak of.
I'm seeing lots of drivers talking about something called eco in the chat. I have no idea what that means. I guess they have a secret code going on.
They do have a secret code. I think they've been practicing too much, and they're ready for anything. They have every situation mapped out, apparently. Yeah, it's we'll have to look for that. It's was it Feroz and who was it?
And Charlie, or no, yeah, Feroz.
Martin, Tristan, and Feroz. All the East Coast, the East Coast guys.
Oh man, they're ganging up on us, huh?
They
on us
are.
West Coast guys.
Okay, who's your bet for pole? I think Alton's gonna be on pole. That's my guess. The random grid.
I have no idea.
The random
we'll go with
grid.
Charlie.
Charlie
I'll just throw
pole.
it out there.
Okay, here we go. 15.76 miles, 87 turns. 87 turns.
That's a lot to memorize.
Yeah, I don't think all the drivers have been through every corner yet, so that'll be exciting.
That's true.
They haven't been through every corner.
Is that a tight corner at the end of the 180-mile-an-hour straight? Or...
Yeah, I'll throw on the map and make sure we have the map on for the viewers. But for the drivers, I recommend that they also have their map on, and that's kind of how you have to drive this track: is looking at the map in the top right to see what's coming up. Griffin is on pole. Look at that, Griffin on pole.
All right.
Okay. Oh, we're losing some drivers. Oh, I
think we got a server issue.
I think there's a server issue, so I think we're gonna have to back Mark out of here and go back.
My guy McCulligan's still there though.
I think he's gonna run away from the field there. So okay, let me figure out what was going on, and I'll be right back. So sorry about that stream. We'll get it sorted out.
All right, welcome back, folks. We had a little technical issues, but I think we got it sorted, and we're up for an exciting race.
Yes, we are. I think it was some people got disconnected right before the game started, so hopefully they remain in the game this time, and we'll have a good race. So Griffin was on pole last time. That means whenever there's a disconnect issue, he'll be starting from the back. That's just the way random grids work. It's a random chance, and sometimes you get screwed over. So we will see what's going on here.
I'm going with Chris this time.
Chris. I think I'll stay with Alton. My money's on Alton. Let's see what happens. Okay. Here we go here. Nick is on pole. What an unfair advantage.
This is going to be an exciting race.
Nick is on pole. Followed closely behind Roger Maeda in second place on the front row. Martin 6, we saw him practicing. He's in third place. Tristan Coivisto starting a great fourth. Lots of front-wheel drive cars here. Your pick for pole, Charlie Frank on the clean side of the grid in fifth place. Sixth will be Griffin. Seventh, Alton. Sean back there in eighth on the dirty side of the grid. Michael McCulligan, he's going to have to drive through the grid if he wants a good result from ninth. And closing up the rear, always fast in the rain. Maybe this race won't be his chime, but the next one in the snow, Firoz, will be starting in 10th place. An excellent
I think Nick's I think Nick's going to jump to an early lead here, right?
So.
The front wheel drives between him and the other rear wheel drives.
I think it's Martin might be the catalyst for some issues there. He'll be between the two BMWs, but definitely a lot more front wheel drive cars on the grid. So we'll see how everyone gets off. It's a long run down to the first turn. We got the technical section, I guess not technical, but the GP section coming up first. So Nick will be probably more familiar with the GP section, so he might come out to an early lead.
Well, this is going to be an interesting turn one because it's so tight at the end of this long straightaway. Hopefully everybody gets it mowed down.
Yes, that's the last thing you want, right?
Yeah, nobody wants to be the torpedo.
Yeah. So we'll see here the different views from the drivers. Beautiful facilities here at the Nurburgring. I'm sure the drivers are enjoying that in practice, the facilities of the track. But here we go. 3 lights, and away we go. We're going to go to the trackside view here. And the lights, and green.
And they're off!
And they're off.
Look at Nick's launch.
Nick is gone. He's absolutely gone. We'll go here.
Yeah, as long as he can get it slowed down for that corner.
Yep, here he comes. But look at this. We got 4 wide in the back. Everyone's behaving.
Oh, look at that.
How's it going? Oh, here we go. They're getting this slowed down around the outside. Oh, we got some contact.
Sean! Oh.
Sean's got it going. They make it around safely. Oh,
Sean took another hit. Oh, Martin went around, it looked like.
Sean's going. Sean kept it straight. Everyone kept it straight. I think Charlie right here is making a move. Let's watch there. Oh, a little bit of contact there. They can't hold their excitement. We haven't even got to the tricky section yet. They're bumping and barging. Oh, wow, excellent racing here.
They do realize this is a long race, right? It's a long lap.
Incredibly long lap and long race as we come to the hairpin here. Excellent. It's all about getting a run out of this hairpin into the Schumacher SS. That is not what you want. And Tristan, not the good run there. It's not Tristan. Is it? Who is this? Roger. Oh, he was in second place. Roger was in second place. He got a poor exit. All the way down to 8th. 1 mistake. 6 positions. And here we go. We're exiting now the GP section. Going through the Schumacher S's, I think. No, this is not the Schumacher S's. We've passed them. But excellent racing here. Look at this battle. Still side by side almost. Let's watch onboard as they come here.
Oh,
they're going side by side into the tight section. Oh, where do they brake?
Oh, can he stop? Oh,
he can't.
He made it work! Oh,
what a move!
That's awesome.
And now they go left into the tight, twisty section. Now we're on the Nurburgring section here.
I can't believe he pulled that off.
That's
that was
incredible.
Awesome.
So much for taking it easy at the beginning of the race. These guys are going already at it.
Yeah, no kidding. Ooh, look at that. Nick doesn't have much of a lead.
Yeah, don't look now. It's Nick's 2-second lead.
Sean went all the way through. Wow!
What a race.
Must have missed something exciting with Nick.
I know. We'll go on board here in a second. They're 2x2. Look at that. Chasing each other down.
Oh, this is going to be exciting.
Oh, and now
1
we
and
get
2
to
in
the
points.
tight section. This is for all the marbles here. Nick's got to win the race to keep himself alive in the points. Sean can finish second, but I don't think he wants to finish second here. Let's go on board in the cockpit.
Sean never wants to finish second.
Oh, you got to tap the brakes before the hill here. Oh. No, they brake later after the hill.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, I thought he was gonna tag him for a second there.
You gotta be careful. Sean has to be patient here, waiting for the mistake, but I don't think a patience turns up in his dictionary.
Yeah, and Nick doesn't make very many mistakes.
Exactly. But we saw some in practice. Nick losing in Sector 3, but
oh, he's gone wide there.
Differences in the car. Is he gonna go around the outside? No. Over under? Almost. What an exciting battle here we have. And right behind them, Firoz on Griffin. These guys have been at the forefront of a lot of battling themselves. They've been very quick, and they're not too far behind.
Oh yeah, they're within view there.
They can still see the leaders, and I think they're both trying to keep up the pace. And
oh, Griffin, easy.
Exactly. He went fast in and slow out through that section. Definitely not what you want. But we can already see a lot of battlings forming. Roger driving right back up. He had dropped down to 8th. He's back in 5th now, so he's got good pace. Behind them, Charlie has got a little bit of a damaged car, but I think he's making it work, with Alton right behind him. And then at the rear of the field, we have Michael and Tristan, who both look to have maybe a little bit of damage. But back at the front, oh, we missed it. Sean got past Nick.
Sean to the lead.
Look at that. Now Nick is in the chase position here. I think the cockpit angle on this track is such a beautiful angle. You can really see where
yeah, definitely. It's a great view.
We'll go to the chase position, and Sean looks to be pulling away a little bit. Don't look now.
Yeah, but there's some long straightaways coming up, and Beamer's quick on the straightaways.
There is, yeah, and the tight and twisty section looks like the Renault has the advantage for sure. And I think we've seen that all season, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, as we go in there, good stuff. And look at that, they've closed in, it looks like.
Yeah, Griffin's coming right along.
Griffin is catching up, so, you know, maybe Nick doesn't have the strongest car. I think Griffin looks to have the stronger BMW. We'll go on board here, go trackside as they come through. Definitely looking good for these guys. Still 15 minutes remaining. Can you believe that? We're not even halfway through the first lap.
We're not even through a lap yet. Yep.
Awesome. Nick is right on him, though. Look at this. He's going
he's going for it. Oh, he's on the outside. Let's see how this goes. Whoa, hang on to it. Whoa.
2 wheels on the track, around the outside.
And he still made the pass to the pass in the dirt.
2 wheels were on the track. It's incredible. Look at that. Sean's absolutely pinned through this section, flat out. Oh, just a little lift through there.
Whoa. He's coming back.
He gets the run on him. Who's gonna brake? Oh, Sean's got it. Look at that. He made it stick. Go back on board, Nick, but don't look now. Look who's right behind them.
Oh, he's coming.
Griffin's coming all the way back up for a 3-way fight for the lead.
Yeah, these guys going at it and bringing the back of the field too.
Yeah, these guys are in a league of their own. Firoz is trying to catch up here, and I think he will, but it's the straight line speed that he's struggling with in that Renault. Griffin doing excellent work here. Lost him a little bit, but I think Nick will keep the pressure on. So this is what you want to see. 2 drivers, you know, in completely different cars, running nose to tail the entire lap, fighting for the lead on such a twisty track. This is as close as it gets in touring car racing.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff here. I'm amazed how close they are. I'm amazed they haven't hit the wall yet, actually, to be honest with you. That's such a challenging track.
Exactly, but remember, we haven't gotten to the tricky Sector 3. I think we're getting to uncharted territory for some of these drivers, corners they haven't been to yet, so we'll see what happens here. This is excellent racing so far. And as this battle continues, we'll look behind them. There's another 3-way battle going back here.
Oh, that's a hard hit. Oh, Charlie, ouch.
Good avoidance from Alton here. Alton took to the grass to avoid them and rejoins very nicely. But these guys are going at it back here. If there's one-sided touring car racing you haven't seen, it's the argy-bargy, elbows-out racing. So we've definitely got both ends of the spectrum here. Guys are racing hard, Alton and Chris in that car. Oop, jumping the curb there, Roger, I see you. Good driving there. Right on the line where he needs to be. Coming down. Great racing. And we'll go back to the front of the grid here. And
Ooh, little wiggle for Griffin there.
little wiggle, yep. These sections, I'll have to be honest with you, those bank sections are extremely difficult in the rain. You can carry so much speed through them, and then you lose a lot of your grip. So in the snow, I'd watch out for those the bank sections. They're very difficult.
Be interesting.
Yes. We get to the long straight, we can see what the BMWs can do here. Let's look at the gap in the top left. 1.4 seconds, and it's dropping significantly. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nick is cutting into the lead of Sean down this long straightaway.
Is he on the rev limiter?
Did Sean's got
did Bill Byrne run out of gear?
I think so. He's not accelerating much more.
Man.
Yep, he's at the max RPM. Look at that. Max RPM.
Oh man, he's gonna be so
gear.
frustrated. Go car, go!
And look at that. Here comes Nick.
Oh, he just closed that gap right. Oh, look at this closing speed. Wow.
Here comes Nick. Goes to
That
the
was a
inside,
power
on the dirt, on the brakes, side by side at 150 miles an hour.
Careful,
Oh,
guys.
wow.
Careful. Oh, hang on to it. Oh, good job. Wipe him off on the wall. There you go.
And look at that. That's one lap completed, and we're just under 10 minutes. So I think we will get 3 laps here. Nick holds on to the lead within a staggering 9:17. Look at that. The front 3 within a 0.5 of a second on their lap. Incredible.
Ooh, Sean's under challenge now from Griffin. It looked like second.
Is Griffin hanging back a little bit after Sean dives in for the lead. These two are having an excellent battle. Incredible. These front 3 within half a second, over 9 minutes of racing. That's...
Now this will be interesting at the end, because if they're running like this at the end, that long straightaway right before the finish may be the difference for Nick.
Exactly, yeah. If Nick can just keep close through all the twisty stuff and get the slipstream right to the end, that might be an unfair way for Sean to lose the race. But we saw him come from over a 1.5 seconds back and had the lead over the line.
That's incredible.
So.
Nick really needs to try to hold him off in the tight section where the advantage is to Sean. Otherwise, it's going to be tough.
Yep, Sean definitely looking for every way past him on this wider section here. The GP section's a little bit wider and easier to pass. Maybe he'll try and move under braking. Oh, as I say that, yes he does.
And he stayed off of him. Wow, amazing.
Gave him all the room he needed. This corner, does Sean go flat out? This is a difficult corner, but I think he will go flat out. Oh, yes, he does. Leaves it full throttle. Excellent.
So now the question will be, can Nick stay with him?
That is the question. Under braking. Oh, taking out the bollards. Great line through there. Nick
Wow, look at the speed of that other car through there. Wow.
Yeah.
Sean's car.
That Renault is incredible. It really is. It goes through those tight stuff like nobody's business. So as you can see, Sean pulls out a little bit of a gap. And he might be able to hold it as we continue through this twisty section. And Sean just pulling away here. Definitely, he's got a lot of practice through this first sector.
Yeah. Nick's got to do his best not to get too big of a gap, because even the speed advantage won't be enough to close that up.
And I don't want to alarm anyone, but if you look right here, Firoz still hasn't left the battle. He's still close behind. I think these top 4 within 4 seconds now. I think the win will be up to these 4 as long as they can keep it clean. But definitely catching back up in these twisty sections. Another tight battle is right behind them. Alton and Roger. These two, I think they were talking in code before the race, so they'll have some,
That's right.
Some team orders going on, possibly.
Their ecto mode, whatever the heck that is.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll tell us after the second
we
race.
Definitely need to interview one of them and see, but they're going excellently. Doing very respectable lap times, and I think now that it's settled down, keeping their cars pretty clean. But it's, we'll go back to this front 4 because this is where all the action is at. sliding it around. Ooh, look at Griffin. If you thought Nick was sideways, Griffin's a little bit more sideways behind him. Awesome battle. And we have a prediction here from Rito in the chat. He's saying that Sean will pull away out of the front straight without lifting if he does it right. Yes, I think we're seeing that. Sean kind of starting to pull away in the first sector. We're approaching the twisty section now. So I think Sean will continue to do that, and then the BMW definitely has the advantage down the straight. So hopefully we can see some good racing, and it's incredible that they even out, right? Every car has its advantages and disadvantages.
I would love it if Nick can do another pass right before start finish. That'd be so awesome. 2 laps in a row.
2 laps in a row, yep. But the important one will be the one on the 3rd lap. We're assuming we're going to get 3 laps, but the final lap, that'll be the most interesting one.
Yeah, for sure.
But like we're saying, Griffin here still holding on, unable to make a move thus far, but they're not pulling away from him. He's staying right there. So,
yeah, I think he's close enough to get a little bit of a toe down the straightaway. That'll help too.
Yes, he'll get a good toe, but again, on these default setups, they won't have any ability to change their gearing or aerodynamics. So even though he'll have the toe, he'll still reach the same top speed as Nick. So you won't be able to pull too much on those on Nick down the straightaway, but it will be a little bit. He'll accelerate faster to the top speed.
Yeah.
Let's hop on board the leader here, Sean Milburn, doing an excellent job minimizing that track distance, keeping it nice and tight through here. And just keeping it on the paved stuff, right? Avoiding the walls.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in awe of these guys. They haven't hit anything yet. Oh, there he goes!
Right down the mirror. Just
that
like
straightaway
that,
speed.
on the long straight, no matter what Sean does, just can't keep it. But he comes back on the grass.
Nick's making that car wide, though.
Oh, he sure is. Griffin's getting a smell, too. And Nick makes it stick.
Griffin's just saying, come on, guys, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah. To the bank section, doing well. Comment here from Martin. Would be nice if the broadcast could see the damage. Yes, I also wish they could see the damage. But we can tell you the top speed on the cars when we get to that the 3rd sector. We'll see if there's any difference. I think we saw like 146 from Sean and about 156 from the BMW. So we'll see if there's any difference.
Oh, look at Sean close the gap up there. Wow.
That twisty stuff is just, the Renault eats it up.
But Nick is just making his car really wide.
Oh, almost through there. Gotta keep it clean. These guys like racing real close. Sean likes that loose.
Nick sideways. Oh, he's not messing around.
He's not. Oh, a little bit of contact.
Oh, Nick,
no! Careful, guys. We're still got some time left in the race. Trying to go around the outside here. It's a bold move. Gets pushed into the marbles a little bit. And Griffin comes under attack. Oh, is he going to make it?
Oh, Griffin's coming.
I think Griffin's plan is to let these two take each other out, and he'll stream to victory. He'll run away.
That's a good plan.
Executing it perfectly so far. Look at these guys go. So Sean's got to try to grab the lead here in these next couple twisty corners. Otherwise, we're coming up to that big long straight, and he might get left for dust by these 2 BMWs.
Oh, Nick! Oh, no!
Oh, what happened?
Nick went away with... Oh,
Sean! Sean's off. Sean is off.
Oh, Sean spun it around.
Sean,
oh, man.
Yeah, spun it. Spun it completely off. I don't know what happened.
I think they might have made contact, but I wasn't looking right at that instant, so I might have missed it.
Sean is rejoining here, but I think that makes it a 2-horse race up front at the moment. What a disappointment for Sean there. Definitely right on the limit, trying to get the position back. Still only in 4th place. So we might...
Well, anything can happen.
So anything can happen.
Nick and Griffin could get together and the whole story could change.
Yes, Nick is not, home free yet. So let's look at the top speed here as we talk about that. Griffin doing
Griffin's getting sucked right up too.
156. I think that's what the car's limited to. He's got him. Griffin definitely has no damage. Only 152 here, so Nick might have a little bit of damage. It's possible.
Yeah, I saw something flapping on the front of his car there.
Yeah, I think Griffin
One
here
of the views.
marginally quicker, but they're side by side all the way down the straight.
This is awesome. Oh, little contact.
And Griffin goes to the lead with a minute and a
Wow.
half to go. Excellent racing. Like you were saying, the most patient driver. Here he comes.
Yep.
Griffin takes the line with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, which means we will have a third lap that we were expecting. Look at that,
Alright.
setting the fastest lap of the race in the progress.
And the crowd is going wild. I hear them cheering in the
They
background.
are. They've been on their phones for 9 minutes, unlike the stream here, who we've been able to follow the action.
Yeah, they're just happy to finally see the cars again.
They are.
After 10 minutes.
And Griffin set the fastest sector 3 there, so definitely advantage on the toe, and got a great run out that final corner. So now he's going to lead as we begin this final lap here. Sean here with a little bit of that damage, not doing so well. Got 15 seconds or so up to catch the Firoz. So disappointment for him, but hopefully he can bring it home in one piece. Nick takes back the lead here. Missed that.
Oh, Griffin went a little
maybe
wide there.
A little bit of mistakes creeping in.
But the way he just got pulled right up to Nick was impressive. If he can do that again, wow.
Yes, he can. So as we have 1 lap to go, I'll remind everyone that the points difference between Nick and Sean entering this race was 26 points. Currently in 4th place, Sean will receive 80 points. If Nick can win this, he'll get a full 100 points and bring the gap down to 6 points going into the final race of the season. And the gap of 6 points means that if Nick wins the second race and Sean comes second, Nick will take the overall championship win. So definitely a very tight battle. If Sean can gain 1 more position and go into 3rd place, it'll mean that they'll only be 11 points instead of 6 points apart. And that would mean that Sean would win with the 2nd place, and if Nick won the final race. So Sean still has it all to play for here. That difference between a 3rd and 4th is huge in the context of the championship.
Wow, you did some quick math in your head there.
I
don't know what's more impressive, these guys driving or your math skills there.
I can't necessarily do it while I'm driving, but definitely here being able to look at the timings and the points live will make a difference. So. But that being said, it's no guarantee that Nick will take this all the way to the flag, because Griffin is racing him very hard all the way to the line. And he's right there, keeping Nick honest, which is exactly what you want to see. No easy race.
Definitely.
So let's take a break from the front, and we'll talk about Firoz here doing excellently. I think he just kind of lost out at the beginning, and it's put him, a couple seconds back. But he's maintained that gap the entire way, so doing excellent lap times.
Yeah, I mean, he's within 6 seconds, so if 1 and 2 get together and facing the wrong direction or whatever,
exactly.
He's right there.
He definitely is. So he's, still in the range to capitalize, even if he can't see them, but I think his race from here on out is just going to be keeping focus, right? When you're all by yourself, it's easy to lose some focus.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we've got Sean, like we talked about, unfortunate to be here. In 4th place, but he's charging hard, and hopefully he'll finish strong. Behind them, these two still going at it, Alton and Roger. These guys, I think, have been locked to each other the whole race since the first lap, and they're still right next to each other. And then Tristan struggling a little bit back here in 7th position. We'll be hoping for a good finish, as well as Michael McCulligan here. Let's look at Michael's car. I think it's still pristine, so that's a testament to his driving.
Definitely. It's not easy to stay off the wall here.
At any speed, right? It's not easy. So
yes.
very impressive.
These guys are going to go at it again here.
They are. Relentless, I think, is the word for the battle for the lead here.
Yes. Griffin is so impressive in this race. It's so hard to go up against Nick. And, man, he's holding his own.
I think if we had an award for best surprise for this season, it would go to either Griffin or Fido's. They really surprised me this season. Griffin especially had some really great races, and he's having another great one here. Very fast in that BMW. I know it's not the easiest car to drive, so very impressive what he's doing.
I'm just so amazed that these guys have not really crashed much. Like,
it's very impressive.
I don't know. I would go flying off the racetrack all over the place.
Definitely. I don't want to jinx anybody as we get to the last half of the lap here, but these two cars up front have remained relatively clean. A little bit of bumping side by side, but what's a race like this without a little bit of bumping, right?
It wouldn't be touring car racing.
Definitely not. So they both have both wing mirrors. That's the telltale sign if they've been doing a lot of bumping. So I think they're doing just fine.
Yep. We'll see if Griffin can get up there and fold in Nick's mirror.
Yes, that'll be a challenge for sure. They can tap mirrors, get a little. I think they've got red and blue, so they can trade mirrors.
There you go.
Yeah, super impressive drive from both these drivers to be within a second of each other over 20 minutes of racing, right? We're going to end up with probably 28 or so minutes of racing, 29 minutes. So.
Oh, I think that's our longest race of the year.
I think it definitely will be. I think our longest up to this point was 23 or 24. So, you know, within a second for both these drivers is very impressive. Regardless of the finish, I think we'll both be happy with first and second. Either way, it's flipped around.
Definitely, and I'm just amazed that, you know, Sean's even still in the points with the
fourth
all
place
that's transpired.
So. Yeah, he's got a couple of good races backed up. So I think his dropped race is like an 80 points, which is a fourth, and a 75, which is a fifth. So he's got strong races on his drops. So he doesn't need this race per se because he's already got a fourth place in the bank. As he goes off there.
Oh, shortcut.
You can't say he's not pushing, that's for sure. Yeah. We'll have to review that if he ends up getting a position at the end. But
he'll probably be like, the one time I cut the course. Oh, two times I cut the course, and the commentators are watching.
He's looking at the timings and thinking that, you know, nobody's in front of me for 20 seconds, nobody's behind me for 20 seconds. Let me just have some fun. But if I was Sean, I'd be scoping out the track for the next round. He's going to need a strong final round to maintain his lead in the points.
Yeah, well, he's definitely not slowed down any at all. That's for sure.
There he goes. He's trying flat out through all the corners, I think, is his strategy there. So.
Yeah, he's pushing.
Definitely. But he's pushing too hard and losing time on exit. He keeps dropping down. So you might see him fall into the clutches of Alton and Roger here if he continues making some of those mistakes.
Yeah.
Look at this. Griffin, like clockwork, is right there. Making sure Nick knows. And we're in this final sector, approaching the all-critical. Here we go. Race to the line. Out of this corner. It's almost a straight shot all the way to the line here. Who gets the better run? Let's see.
Can Griffin take advantage of the slipstream like he did before?
7/10 off the lead here. Griffin going for his first win of the season. Can he do it? This is what it all comes down to.
See if he can get pulled up there to Nick.
The gap is dropping. Here he comes.
Oh, he's coming in a hurry.
Wow,
that's some closing speed. He's coming in a hurry.
Nick is helpless to defend. What is he going to do?
It's not much he can do.
6/10 now. Here comes Griffin for the win.
Oh, he's coming. He's
got
just like NASCAR.
Is he going to run out of straight? Oh, slightly. The straight keeps going. Now's the chance. We're going to get to the braking zone. He's not ahead in front of braking.
Oh, he's getting with him, though.
Nick defends the inside smartly. I don't think he's going to do it as we come out. I think Nick has it secured. Griffin came so close.
Oh, wow, he was so close.
But Nick takes the win. Look at that.
Wow, congratulations, Nick and Griffin. What a race.
Both of these drivers,
awesome.
excellent racing. And not too far behind. Fido's a great drive, very clean as well. Just lost out a little bit on the start. And excellent driving there. Man, that was some great racing up front. Here comes Sean's wounded car. Let's see what his top speed is. I actually can't see. 120 something, I think it said. So definitely being held back there. The straightaway with damage. And these two coming to the line. Look at this. Oh boy. 2 Opals side by side. I think the damage is going to get to Alton. He's not going to have the top end. He's going to have to make a move under braking.
They're both on the rev limiters.
They are. I know Alton will make a move. He's not one to shy away from a last moment pass. So here he comes. He's going to give it his all. As they come through the final corner, final section of corners. He goes to the inside. Oh, just too far back.
Nice tidy line through there, though.
Yes, it is. Didn't want to bump him. He got on the brakes, I saw. And not quite. But excellent racing for 5th and 6th here.
That was
Great
awesome.
lap times. Great racing, guys. Excellent.
And the crowd goes wild.
They do. They love they love it. Excellent. And we have here the Tristan and Michael as they come up. We're going to talk about no fuel usage for Martin. Yeah, no fuel usage. Fuel with the default setups, we turned off the fuel usage. However, tire wear is authentic, so their tires will be struggling, and that's a question we'll have to ask Sean, is if his tires were going off on that second lap. As we wrap it up here, who do we want to talk to, James? Who are we thinking?
Well, I think Sean for sure, because I want to hear what happened when he kind of went around there.
Of course, yep.
And boy, I don't know.
How about we'll get Sean, and I think Griffin had a great race, and then as well we'll get Roger, who ended up with that finish in 5th place.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's get them, and we'll move them on over here to the race. Excellent finish for every driver here. Michael McCulligan comes across the line. Great race for him, and we have the final results here.
That was an exciting one.
Definitely.
That race did not disappoint.
Definitely not. Griffin grabs the fastest lap, it looks like, so he definitely had the pace for the win. And I'll move some drivers over here.
Wow, a 10-minute lap, and that's the difference? Incredible.
Yes, that's something else. So let's go to the points screen here, and let's grab some drivers. All right. Who do you want to talk to first, James?
Well, I want to hear from the man of the hour, Griffin, because that was a heck of an... Oh, he just disappeared. All right, well, let's hear from Sean then, because I want to hear what happened to Sean. Not sure he got sideways there, but didn't really see what happened to him.
You didn't see what happened?
Well, I didn't see what initially led to you getting sideways like that and into the wall. You made contact, I guess?
Yeah. I went for a dive. Basically, so the way this worked, which I realized was probably going to be a thing, is Renaults have no chance. BMWs just kind of win because Nick doesn't even really know this track. And I put a few laps down. I've felt pretty comfortable with it, and it didn't really seem to matter how far of a gap I got. It was just immediately recovered on anything resembling a straightaway. So in the opportunities I had to try and pass anywhere I could, I tried to go for it. And one such situation, he hit the brakes somewhere you don't need to hit the brakes. And I went to go for a pass on the right side, which we were in like a left in sector 2 towards the end of sector 2. And when it was a pretty fast left. So I went to the right, which was the outside setting up for the inside. And Nick he didn't have his HUD on. because the HUD was turned off and he didn't know how to turn it back on. So he kind of just like went straight, which you kind of normally would. But since I was next to him and he went straight, I had nowhere to go and stacked it in the wall at like 100 and something. And it was just kind of over from there. But,
Oh man, what a bummer. Sorry to hear that, Sean. But
yeah,
it was impressive.
It was very frustrating.
The way you came through the field on that first lap, though, was really something.
Yeah, it was a pretty good start there. The right left at the very start was very chaotic. There was a couple drivers. I think someone ended up backwards. I didn't quite see, but it looked like there was some slow moving cars.
Yeah,
but I was just like, I'm gonna need to catch up to Nick literally as fast as I can if I have any chance. And even when I got like a 10-second, like 5 to 10-second lead, it still wasn't enough because you hit sector 3 and he just overtakes me on the straightaway from 5 to 10 seconds back. So it
yes, that the top end speed as well as the draft to that last sector definitely was challenging.
It not really even the draft, just the top end because he was
the draft
so far
as well.
back.
Because when
literally so far away.
I'm in the BMW too, and when I was catching Nick, it was like it's almost 10 miles an hour of it's 5-10 miles an hour of extra top speed you get from the draft down that straight.
Yeah, so it was I felt like after I was so far out and I just got caught in sector 3, I basically just came to the conclusion. I was like, okay, if I don't stay in front through the GP and through the first 2 sectors, I have no chance. I just really didn't.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So that's just kind of the way it ended up, and I ended up 4th due to some fortunate circumstance.
Lucky for you.
Well, you're still in it though.
The greatest equalizer is coming. Heavy snow, so I'm sure that'll bring the field a lot closer and give you a good chance. So you're still in the lead of the points. We were just doing the calculations. I think you're 6 points ahead. So everything to play for here going into the final race with Nick.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk to Griffin here. I think he's back, right?
I'm back.
Yep, there's Griffin.
Excellent.
Yeah, Griffin, man, what a show you put on there. That was so impressive. Just hanging back, biding your time, letting 1 and 2 go at it, and
my strategy
just waiting for
was
your chance.
My strategy was for them to crash each other out, but they only got it half right, and Nick was still there. And I thought maybe if I hung close enough, I could draft him down the back straight, but didn't quite work out. But that was a fun race, and keeping the pressure on the entire time.
Definitely, yeah.
Boy, you came close. So. Yeah, and we were pulling for you as you're closing in on Nick. I was like, "Oh, he's gonna do it! He's gonna do it! He's coming!" But it just didn't quite work out. But man, you did
Very
awesome.
nearly. Thanks.
Well, good luck, Griffin and Sean, in the rain. A little bit further back from you guys, but definitely in the trenches of battle was Roger. You had a great battle there with Alton. Walk us through that.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I was hoping to have that battle a little further up front, but I'm actually not really sure what happened. But in the Grand Prix section, a couple cars came together. I felt a little bump, but I don't really know what happened behind me. And then a couple corners later, I fell off the road and put us back. But it was great. Alt and I are running the same Opals this year, and we were close. I don't think either of us really had too much experience with the track, and we're both trying to feel our way through.
Exactly.
I think I led him for a lap, and then he managed to slip by, and it just kind of followed him as best I could.
Yeah, we were watching your race there. You were up in second at the start, and then you went a little wide or something happened. We didn't necessarily see it, and then you fell down to 8th. But a great recovery drive for you. I think you ended up in 6th place or 5th place actually. So great drive for you. Looking forward to seeing everyone in the snow.
Awesome. Awesome job, guys.
On how many cars are going to finish in the snow? It might be a race of attrition. I don't know.
Definitely, but hopefully the snow will bring joy to the drivers and to the audience here watching. We'll hopefully get a great stream with snow on the ground. So I'll let you guys.
Most importantly, it'll entertain us commentators. That's the most important thing.
Definitely.
Well, good luck, guys. Go get them.
Yep. Good luck. I'll move you guys back. We'll move into the final race here. Okay, all right, James. We're getting the lobby sorted out here. Firoz, as the stream is looking at the points, is doing well. Griffin definitely closed up a few points on Firoz in that with that great result of his in second place, but I don't think it'll be enough to catch him for fourth place in the championship there. But really, the points will come into play for Nick and Sean, like we said, only 6 points. So a win for Nick will secure him the championship regardless of where Sean finishes. I think that's the main storyline here.
But no pressure, Nick.
Of course
No
not.
pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, and I don't think he knows that. So I think it's better that we definitely should tell him, so he knows that that's the pressure. All right, we're gonna get this lobby going, and we'll be right back on the stream after we make sure the lobby's going and all the snow is set up properly. So feel free to grab a drink, and we'll be right back.
And we're back for
Yes,
race number
we
2.
are. The final race of the season in the snow. This
And
is
it all comes
something
down to this.
that I haven't seen before, and I'm excited to watch. It does all come down to this. The championship points within one position, essentially. If it comes down to it, first or second, we will see what happens. Great
I might want to
racing
check the stream real quick. I don't see it up on YouTube at the moment.
on YouTube. The chat is definitely going, and it says I'm live. So I do think we are up.
Okay.
I think so.
Oh, there it goes. I just have a delay. Never mind.
Okay. Okay. All right. So here we go. Getting into
Look
it.
at all
Here's the
those fans.
snow.
Oh, it's coming down. Look at that.
Roger on pole with Firoz right next to him. Front wheel drive cars in the front, and they've all been moved up. Michael McCulligan in third. A great start for him. Nick is in fourth. I heard that he is going to plan on going to the back of the grid at the beginning of the race. I think he feels bad about taking Sean out, so he's kind of self-inflicting a penalty. So we'll see how that works out for him. Griffin, look for him to have a great start and move up from 5th position. Sean right behind him in 6th. Alton, Chris, not Charlie, and Tristan. Here we go. In the heavy snow, the race is going.
Can Griffin get him at the start? Find out.
Michael as well in that rear-wheel drive, tucked up behind him. Oh, a good start for Roger. Gets away well.
Yeah.
And we can't see anyone.
We can see snow.
We can't see anyone.
That's what we can see.
That's incredible. Oh, this is going to be an interesting race. Look at the amount of traction. There's no grip. What's going on? A little bit of argy-bargy bumping. Cars are
2 cars
inside
hitting each other.
I have no idea what's going on. The trackside views are just about as much visibility as drivers have. But incredibly, Firoz is in the lead. Sean already moved up into 2nd place there, with some great battles in between. Look at that. This is incredible. We can't see anything. Look at these. There's almost 3 wide back there, but you can't tell from here. Let's get in the cockpit here with Griffin. Excellent around this hairpin. I think 2 wide, bumping and barging. Look at that.
So Nick more than went to the back.
Nick has no steering. I think Nick has
technical issues.
No controls, technical issues. You're right. So
oh man, we've got 10 minutes to get it sorted before they come around again.
That is a disappointment for Nick, unfortunately.
Yeah, what a bummer.
He's not going to be able to make it off the grid, and he actually disconnects. Well, that leaves the points, in favor of Sean here, but I don't think he's worried about that. I think he's worried about winning this race. So at the front, we have lots of Renaults. So we have the Renault of Firoz, who's excellent in the cold weather conditions and the wet weather conditions. Sean Milburn in the Renault, 2nd place. Tristan in the Opel, doing great, as we see Sean going for a move. And Griffin representing the BMWs, as we see Tristan going into the wall, in 4th place. So we might not have as much of that straight line advantage for the BMWs against some of the Renaults, as the Renaults are in front and pulling away, it seems, in the wet conditions.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a little early. Griffin also started back a little ways in the first race and came back to finish 2nd, so who knows.
But these 2 Renaults are going at it in the rain, with the Opel right behind. This is what they were made to do. Go through the snow, right? Definitely.
I don't think Sean can see very much though right now.
So you got the wipers going.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Not too bad. The issue with the heavy snow here is the visibility, like Rito was saying there. But it's better in the car, but you can't really see the next corner. So you will.
It's true.
Knowing where you're going is definitely more muscle memory now. So.
Sean is all over him.
Doing excellently as well. Defending there for Firoz. He's got a couple of wins in the rain this season already, so he's no slouch in these conditions. The whole field is keeping it nice and close. got great battles throughout. But look at the amount of snow on the track and on the side. This is incredible.
Yeah, it's really coming down.
It definitely is. This is not the kind of snow you would want on Christmas Day, right? This is some serious heavy snow. Look at this. Going through. Cars definitely look looser
Fords are
than
going at it
before.
too. Yeah.
Very aggressive, but keeping it both cars on the track for now, at least, in the first opening 4 minutes of the race. With this being the final race of the season, they have it all to lose, perhaps, but this is also their last chance to grab another win and get those bragging rights for winning in the snow. So they will definitely be gunning for that victory, and as it looks right now, Sean doesn't have an answer for Feroz at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm actually kind of rooting for Feroz, because if Sean wins, I'm never going to hear the end of it all year long till next Virtual Touring Car season.
Definitely. He will have the bragging rights. He's had an excellent season, but to be fair, both of them have. So a little mistake there from Sean in the guardrails.
Looks like not too much damage there, though.
Not too much.
If any.
Keeps it going. But the damage wasn't to the car, it was on the leaderboard, and look at the time, over 2 seconds now. But we know Feroz can keep his head down and have a great session. That's what he did in the dry. He was, drove by himself and his own pace. So we'll see what he can do here in the wet. And the breakout star of last race, Griffin, who had that excellent second place finish, in fourth place currently, can still see Sean when the snow kind of clears up. Having a little bit harder time with that rear wheel drive, but still racing just as hard.
Yeah, he's not falling back much at all. I mean, he's still in it.
He's definitely in it, so we'll see what happens if he can, keep it close until that final straight, if he's still got the advantage in the snow.
That's true. It'd be interesting to see.
Well, hello, boys. This is Brad Austin, your in-race reporter.
In-race reporter.
We've got Nick Romano hopped in and joined us here to explain possibly what happened. Nick, you still here?
Got the Romano?
I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
What happened, Nick? We saw you on there. We thought you were going to go to the back of the grid on purpose, and then you didn't move very far from there.
Yeah, and that was that. So it was my plan to move to the back just because, I had that contact with Sean in the race. Not intentional, things happen, but I felt bad, so I was going to start the second race from the back, and the game liked that idea and just took it a little bit further than I wanted to, and I just had no controls. It's the same exact problem that I had, was it 2 races ago at Laguna Seca in the rain?
Yes.
Where just for some reason the force feedback was turned on, but I had no pedals, no shifters, no buttons, no steering.
That's so unfortunate. We wanted to see you out there in the rain, in the snow even. Well,
it seems like the game really doesn't want to let me race in inclement weather, even though I love inclement weather.
Well, now we have the narrative that... oh, look at that, a big collision there!
Griffin! Oh!
As you were talking, a big collision between Tristan and Griffin in second place, now down to third and fourth. But back to you, Nick. I think you had a great season, excellent driving throughout the season, even though there were some technical difficulties that were beyond your control. So I think you can be happy with the overall results there.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am pleased, although I am frustrated with myself because there was that one round that I just opted out of because I had to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if that hadn't happened, then this might have been a different result. But
definitely, what could have been, right?
Yeah.
So
we'll find out next season, I guess.
Exactly. There will definitely be more seasons coming, and I think your quest for the overall championship is not over for sure. So I think you'll get it sooner rather than later.
Sounds good. All right, enjoy the race, guys.
Thank you.
Well, hey, Nick, thank you for all the entertainment you provided this season. Can't wait to see you run again.
You are welcome, and thank you for doing the commentary this season, too.
All right.
All right. Well, that was quite some contact.
That
between
was.
Griffin
That was a huge contact, and somehow it looks like Sean made it through almost unscathed. I saw him go right through the middle of that while we were talking. Incredible. So the gap has kind of opened up here. Now everyone's running their own race. But these two, let's go on board here. Tristan, no wipers for Tristan, incredibly.
Oh, wow. Iron Man.
Exactly. He either is running a different camera angle or he doesn't need to see where he's going. And I like the second answer, so he knows the track by heart.
Yes.
Yeah, he will not be able to see here, and
Yes.
that's the way quote.
Griffin, on the other hand,
we'll see
has
how
it
that pays
on
off
line.
for him.
Well, he's running fourth at the moment. Maybe that had something to do with the contact we saw before. Sean here, driving very well, avoiding the collision.
Yeah, I like the roof cam, even in bad weather like this. It helps out a lot.
It
You
does.
can see a lot,
You can see everything.
a lot more next year.
Here, we'll look at the top speeds here. So Fido's doing 144. Sean's got some damage, doing 140, it looks like. Griffin also right around the 140 mark in the BMW, so he's definitely got damage. And Tristan, the worst of them all, 134 on the straightaway, so definitely struggling. So Fido's has got the benefit of having the clean car. He'll have gained a couple tenths down that straightaway, which will help his lead out there.
Yeah, Sean's going to need to get up there to get into the slipstream. That might make up for the
3
body
seconds is
damage,
going to be a
possibly.
lot. He's going to cross the line here with just almost 10 and exactly 9:58 on the lap, which means we might get, if he keeps up this pace, a third lap by a few seconds. He's under 10-minute lap time, so we'll see
I'll
how.
hop over there and
pull another
tell
10 minutes over a few seconds. That's awesome.
Exactly. He might get that third lap by a few seconds, which would be, I don't know, better or worse. I don't know. Maybe he's got to slow down on the line to take the win. So we're on board here. We can watch. You see everyone's a little bit spread apart, but we can see through the GP section that there is a car there, believe me or not. It's somewhere there as it comes into shot. There it is.
You know what's most impressive is all those fans I saw in the stands at the start, braving the cold.
Exactly. They're definitely
They're the
hardcore
MVPs of this race.
They are, yes. For everyone, in their nice warm homes or wherever they be watching the stream, they don't have anything on the fans who are there in person right now, braving out the snow. Well, it looks like Fidos has had a good GP section here. He's pulled out his lead in a couple seconds over Sean Milburn. And further back in the field, we have Griffin here, driving another good race. He's moved up into third place now, so he's doing well. We lost Nick right at the beginning, and I think we also lost Chris driving under Charlie's name for this race at some point as well. We'll have to see what happened there. Let's go on board here.
It looks cold.
It does look cold. These drivers are coping very well with the conditions. I'd say better than I expected them to be able to cope with these conditions. What do you think?
Yeah, they're doing awesome. It's incredible. Other than a little bit of car contact, for the most part, they're keeping on the track.
Definitely.
That's impressive.
Yeah, they're most of the cars are all in one piece, give or take a bumper or two, but everyone seems to have settled into their own pace, which is important, doing their own times, where everyone's comfortable. So they're doing well, I think.
Well, it looks like Perot's Octo mode is working out well for him at the moment.
It is, yes, his secret mode that we forgot to ask about, doing well. He is driving away from everyone.
Yeah, I saw in the driver's chat right before the race started, I think Milburn's got his tire chains on, so that might be holding back a bit.
Let's have a look at his tires here. You can see the tires as he comes by. Who can spot the chains? Let's see. Oh, I didn't see the chains, but I think there were only 4 lug nuts, so I think he We need to check his lug nuts at the end of the race. He might be way shaving there.
There you go.
Well, he's driving an excellent race, very clean. To win a championship like this, you don't have to win every race, but being at or near the front of every race is a very important part, and that's something Sean has done all season.
Yeah, I mean, the lead he has over Griffin now is huge after that contact. And,
yes.
Yeah, he can kind of just see if he can make it to the end without any major issues, and we got a new champ.
There we go. He will be the fourth different champion we've had in 4 runnings of this season, of the seasons. So nobody has been able to repeat, which I think shows the competitive nature of this of the series. That we have so many different drivers that are so close to each other, and the difference really comes down to who has it on the given race day, right? So. Excellent driving from everyone involved as we wind out the 4th installment, the 2022 Virtual USTCC season. Sean getting in the barriers there a little bit, hoping we weren't watching. That's okay.
We saw that, Sean.
We have seen a few mistakes here from the championship leader, which shows just how difficult it really is. Even Sean, who's proven himself to be one of the fastest drivers around the track, pushing the limits and getting them wrong at some points. So, very.
But always exciting.
That was never in doubt. Always exciting. And another driver who's kept it exciting, Griffin, coming in just a few corners behind, doing very well in that BMW. Beautiful orange color. I think he's done very well. I think this is his first season. Definitely improved a lot and gone very well. We have a question in the chat for the previous champions. So I can inform you that the previous champions, the inaugural season, I believe, was TJ Petrie. Season 2, when we were in mostly European tracks, was Brandon Hodges. And then I won the 3rd season. And then this 4th season's looking to be collected by Sean Milburn. So those are your 4 champions of the 4 different seasons. So surprisingly, Nick, who's been at the front of a lot of the races, won, I think, tie most races this year, is yet to win a championship. So he's come close on a few occasions, but yet to bring it across the line as the champion.
It's not easy. You have to have luck on your side, and everything's got to go just right. But if anybody can do it, Nick can do it.
Exactly. Yes, it's a very difficult challenge, and you can come close. I came close in the 1st season with I think I only got 1 overall win in the races in the 1st season, and I came close on the overall point standings. But I think Nick has got some, like he said, he missed a 1 race, and I think that might have been the difference between the competitors here today. So, with the technical difficulties aside, he's had an excellent season. So, hopefully they can continue. And Griffin here going a little wide. Let's go on board here. Alton, who was having a great race in the previous race, not too far behind Roger. He's keeping it very close. His bumper might be falling off, but these two again in those matching Opals are almost nose to tail this time. Keeping it very close as we come to the final sector of the track here.
I think they've done a little bit of off-road in there. So there's a lot of mud on their cars.
Definitely, the mud will kick up and that dirt. So doing well. From them, we have Roger just slightly ahead with some understeer there. You can see he's got a lot of steering lock in there. I think Roger's on the gamepad or the trackpad, which I think explains the steering wheel movements.
Wow, he doesn't have a wheel?
I don't think Roger has a wheel.
That's doubly impressive. He can drive this well with a pad.
He is
That's
driving
awesome.
this well with the pad, so it shows that, to be competitive in a series like this, everyone has their own settings, whether it be VR for Nick, or I think Sean is also in VR and Roger's on the pad. So definitely great competition, and everyone has a different way of driving their car, whether it be the controller device, their gaming chair, or their view on the car, or the car they drive, front wheel drive, rear drive. Everyone's setup is a little bit different.
Yeah, I like your in-car view the best, the up on the top.
Up on the top, yeah.
Then folded hoods don't bother you anymore.
Exactly, yeah. This is the angle I drive on the roof. I just think there's more perspective with the track. You can see your apex is better and be more precise. And I just got used to it from the beginning. So as we come to the close of the second lap, we've got about 55 seconds to go. And Firoz is storming down the straightaway. And
literally storming.
Literally storming. And racing against the clock here. Will we get a third lap?
Come on, Frost. We believe in you.
He's got about a 5-second lead. So if he comes to the line with less than 5 or 6 seconds, he could, in theory, slow down and let the time expire and then cross the line. But it's a very risky strategy if he gets it wrong. So we'll see. I think he's too far ahead. I think we're going to get a third lap. 17 seconds here. He's not going to have time to slow down.
Yeah, I think he's going to make it.
So we will get a third lap. I think he improved on his time. 9:51.
Another 10 minutes.
Another 10 minutes of racing. 9:51. 9:55. So he pulled 4 seconds on Nurburgring there, just in that one lap alone. So he's showing that he's got the speed to be in front, definitely. Regardless of the pace of everybody behind, he's got the speed. Griffin here coming through, dipping right on the 10-minute mark. Tristan, let's see what kind of lap time Tristan's doing. 10:16 on his first lap, and on this lap a 10:14, so he improves marginally. Roger coming down the straightaway. Alton following behind by a few seconds.
The report from the other drivers was that they sure wished Perez would have slowed down, but he wasn't having it.
He wasn't. Yeah, we were doing the timing in our head here, and I think he didn't have the gap required. He was about 10 seconds was the difference there on the lap times, so just a little bit too quick. And we've gotten a third lap.
Everyone else would have to slow down too, or Sean would have passed him.
Sean would have passed him. So yeah, he didn't have the lead required, and so we can blame Sean at the end of the day for these extra 10 minutes, or we can thank Sean, whichever way you want to see it, right?
Yeah, it's always Sean's fault.
It's always Sean's fault, or Nick, one of the two.
That's true.
Poor Nick though with the connection issues. God,
that really does suck.
Control.
Yeah, it's hit him a couple times, not just this season, but the previous season as well. So struggling with those issues. I think that's been a recurring issue of his. So Sean,
yeah, I would go right there every time.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I would have went the wrong way.
Yeah, I've got a lot of laps here at the normal GP config, and that's definitely the muscle memory is to take a right there. So yeah. Very difficult.
Weird how the right isn't coned off. It's just like a
suggested.
It looks like a fork in the road.
Yeah, you just if you can figure out how to go through that right, then you can shave about 9 minutes off your lap time. But
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. we'll have you investigate the barriers there if you can.
All right,
as the during race, maybe you can move them aside, and we'll get some of these drivers through there. Okay, another thing to note here is if you can see all those puddles on the apexes, those are this game is infamous for its puddles. They really upset the car. So if I were these drivers, I would be trying to avoid those puddles as much as possible, because they really do throw your car all over the place.
Well, the snow hasn't lit up.
They tried to really go after how the dry racing line.
Griffin!
Oh, I got into it! Oh no!
On board here. What a turn!
How did he miss the wall?
Keeps it out of the wall. Excellent driving. Tristan's coming up on him. Griffin's coming back to speed. That
Yeah,
just shows
how
you.
the
Look at that.
I was saying how the dry racing line is not the same as a wet racing line. You've got to avoid a lot of things in a serious wet track,
Yes.
like puddles.
Exactly, but even more so at a track when you don't even know the dry racing line because there's 87 corners, so it's just the middle of the track for many of these drivers as much as they can.
Right.
Yeah, at Sonoma one time, I very nearly totaled my car. It had just stopped raining, and almost all of the track was dry, but there was a puddle coming off the carousel. So right at the start, we all take off, standing starts, and
Yeah.
sure enough, I forgot the puddle was there.
And you
He
went right
hit it
through
and
the
almost turned sideways, and very lucky to not go straight into the wall.
Yes, that's a very tricky part of the track. I know some of the drivers there's been big accidents there before, so good on Griffin for keeping the car out of the wall there. He lost some time, but he's still got about a 10-second lead over Tristan, so let's see if he can get back in the zone and see what he can do and keep his focus for the remainder of this race.
This car might need a little bit of body work after this race. I think it's pretty much a requirement for this track on online racing.
Yes, I think the only person, well, the two people, Michael definitely has a clean car. His car's always pristine. And up at the front, Fido's, his car's also looking excellent in pristine condition as well.
Not from my view. I see some pretty good damage on his,
You
too.
see some damage? Okay, well, the damage is known
It's
to be
negligible.
a little strange.
Yeah, he's still getting the top speed, so he doesn't have a lot of aero damage, but, it's crazy how the difference between having a little bit of front bumper damage, losing your hood or your wing slows you down. It really affects you. You don't notice it all the time on the tracks where you're not at top speed, but a track like this one where you have a lot of wide open, just counting the minutes down before you get to your next corner again, wondering why everybody's pulling away from you.
Definitely.
Realize
Races
your
have
bumper.
been won and lost because of the damage in the game for sure. So it's a real part. And
Rez,
I think it's, yes.
I think you've thrown the parachute out a few times with your buckled hood this season.
I have, yes. The damage really is kind of the risk and reward of racing with the damage on. Kind of tries to self-balance the drivers and provide a benefit to those who race cleaner. So I think it's done a good job at incentivizing the drivers to keep a clean car, because any damage will hurt you for the rest of the race.
Yep, it's definitely a bitter learning process, though. Some people are still, we gotta full send this car into this corner. I don't care who I hit or how many people are in front of me.
Yes.
Like Sean.
Yes, it's unfortunate when you're on the receiving end of the damage, but I think all the drivers understand that. I don't think there's one driver who hasn't been on both ends of the damage, right? So, there's Sean.
This could be bad.
Oh, got some air there. Look at that.
That was an interesting save, right onto the middle of the next turn.
I think that's his preferred racing line. I think we've seen him do that twice now. So.
Yeah, I think it's twice in the same spot.
Same spot. So I think that's his preferred line. His one of his headlights is out. I wonder if that's impacting him. Let's go on board and see if we can see what's going on. It's a little bit dark, so it would have been interesting to do a dusk race where it got darker during the nighttime as well with the snow.
Oh, that would have been scary.
That would have been scary. And you can see just the amount of understeer he picks up mid-corner. Oh, yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, like that. Just like that.
That's Sean's line.
I'm amazed by the traction off track right now.
Yes, the grass here is grippy grass, actually.
It's that hardy German species of grass. Yeah.
Yes.
You said some of the guys were running ice tires, so that could explain it.
Yeah, I wish they could run the ice tires. I don't think anyone actually is. I think we're all on the wet tires, but
No, of course, yeah.
the ice tires would definitely do wetter. I think the ice tires and the grass line would be the preferred strategy for some of the drivers.
Right, on the grass. Definitely not as fast as the pavement, though, even in the wet.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting.
Little kiss of the wall there for Sean. No harm, no foul. He's maintaining the gap there at about 7 seconds, 8 seconds. But I think Firos has this all wrapped up. I think he's onto that fast straightaway now. He's on the last corner. There he is.
So, Reza, next year, are you going to throw in a dirt race in the middle of the season?
A dirt race. There are some dirt races we can do. Some tight tracks.
There are some dirt rally courses or some, but you have to switch cars. That's the problem. I don't think we can do these cars.
Yeah, some of them are car specific. So we'll see what the next season has in store. You know, these trusty touring cars have taken us around the world in the game to all sorts of different tracks and all sorts of different drivers. So who knows?
Well, maybe we can do a pre-season exhibition race or something.
That would be exciting. Yes, exhibition races. Maybe we'll do like I don't know, Formula cars at Monaco or something like that, where no one will finish. Or even crazier than that, we'll have like a Ford Raptor at Sonoma in the snow or something. But here comes Firos across the line, takes the win. Excellent drive from him. There he is.
Fantastic job.
Great.
Somewhere.
He's
there somewhere.
Sean wraps up the championship. Does exactly what he needs to do. A new champion, Sean Milburn. Congratulations. Both these guys.
One headlight and all.
Drove fantastic races. Credit to both of them for their seasons as well. They've had some great racing.
So, Reza, I got a question. Can you drive home to a championship on one headlight?
I believe you can. Yeah, it's actually in the rules that one headlight is okay. But no headlights, it would have been a penalty. Here comes Griffin. A great race for him. I think the wet conditions really favored the front-wheel drive cars, so he did really well to come home in third. Ahead of Tristan here in the Opel as he's coming through the last section. Oh!
And going straight through the last section.
He
tried to cut straight to the barrier.
He's got one headlight as well. He's going to finish with one headlight. A great season for Tristan. Gave it his all through the last sector, and I think he'll be happy with what he's managed there with fourth place. Here comes Roger with a whole boatload of steam through this corner. Let's see what he can do. Driving hard. Will he make the corner?
Yeah.
He does. Look at that.
He did. Wow.
Excellent through there. Great racing, even in fifth place. Shows exactly how deep the field is with talent. And he comes across the line. Great
with
flashing his lights and all. Doing it in style.
We come to Alton. Oh, keeps it out of the
wall.
wall.
I thought he was going to hit the same places.
Yeah, that wall has got a couple dents in it now.
He's got one headlight too.
One headlight is the way to go. All the drivers. All of them. So here he goes across the line. Great racing from Alton as we get the white screen with all the snow. And rounding out the field for today and for the season, Michael McCulligan in that beautiful green car. It's got a couple scratches on it, but not too bad as he comes across the line. Excellent racing from everyone here. So, as we wrap this up, who do we want for the interviews? Any ideas?
What we need for Rose, because I need to know what octo means.
Okay. Noted, for sure, 100%. And I guess
definitely got to bring Sean in here to talk about his championship.
I agree.
Race. I wish we could have had Nick and Sean really go for it down to the last minute.
Yes, they with hindsight, I guess the race in the dry, the race one was the de facto championship race there. They had their battle, and that was the close racing we got there between the two protagonists of the championship. So great racing here from Michael, comes across the line. Excellent racing. Okay.
Hello.
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 Oh, there he is, Mr.
Don't sound so excited there, Sean.
Yeah, it was Nick's wheel and pedals were just not responding.
Yeah, we got to talk to him after he disconnected.
Yeah, I was like, that's
It's a heartbreaking way to back out of a race when you got something that you can't even control, and then you can't get back into the race. You're just
Yep,
kind of good luck to
you're just
everybody else.
screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
Feroz
heartbreaking.
drove really freaking good. So I was just like trying to catch up with him, and then kept accumulating damage because like the more the race went on, the less grip there was. So I just like
Yeah.
kept understeering into the wall.
That tends to happen.
Yep.
Well, I think Feroz here, if he'll hop into the conversation, he's definitely earned his name as the wet weather specialist, the now wet and snowy weather specialist. Always capitalizes
Cool.
when the weather's less than ideal. How was that out there? Very good performance.
It was nerve-wracking. I mean, normally I think I have the advantage over BMW. Some races that wasn't true. It was a little bittersweet because you weren't racing and something happened to Nick, so it's like who knows what would have happened if you guys are in. But yeah, I went off a couple of times, and I did get a lot of practice in before the race, so that helped. And confession, I have driven this course. I think it was like 9 years ago. It was like one of the greatest experiences of my life was traveling to Europe and making this a stop
I
and
see.
renting a race prep Suzuki Swift to do it.
The Suzuki
And
Swifts, they're the most realistic comparison you can get to the Renault Megane, right? I'm sure they drive
oh
similarly.
yeah,
So that
very similar. Yeah,
definitely prepared you very well for this win. So congratulations.
thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that
Feroz,
was a good win. It was strong.
that is awesome. I'm dying to know what is ecto mode, your secret code you had going on there.
It stands. So I'm from New Jersey, so we have a East Coast crew here. And we were joking before the race. It stands for East Coast Team Orders. We're like, if anything goes down, yeah, we'll use code names to run block on Reza, but he wasn't in, or like whoever. We weren't actually going to do it, but that was
That
our
was your plan? Awesome, awesome,
plan.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know that for the next season we'll have to clamp down on team orders.
Yeah.
We'll make sure there's no multi-21 action. I think today is actually the anniversary of multi-21, so good good to bring that up. Excellent racing there. So,
Cool.
well, congratulations everyone. I think I'll add Sean. I think we have, for those who don't know, in the Discord chat we use, the channel, there's a special administrator title role given to those who have become virtual champions. It's a gold text on their name, and I will add Sean to that text to join the 3 other champions as a virtual champion. So congratulations, Sean. Great racing.
Nice job, Sean.
Thank you. I wish the finale could have been a bit more sorted and like actually be pretty heart racing, heart pumping, but it was just like, I mean, we take those, but it'll
Yeah.
hopefully next season when things come back,
Yes, I think
things will be more squared away and all that, so that we don't have those kinds of issues. Because when I heard Nick say my dropped, and I was like, wow, that's a bad way to go.
Yeah, I think your consistency has really been the difference in this title, because looks like at the end of the day, your lowest result will be 5th place. So outstanding to
Wow.
have such a very consistent season for yourself. So
yeah, that's the name of the game, right? If you can't be the fastest, be the most consistent.
Definitely.
So if you can be almost the fastest, but be there every single race and just show up and do what you can. I mean, Nick was definitely taking a lot of W's, so I was just like, well, if I just don't miss any weekends or any Thursdays and I make every single one and use my buffers wisely, I might be able to pull it off. And sure enough, it ended up working out, and got that championship. But I'll be back for it again next year and see what goes on then.
Awesome. So the question everyone's wanting to know is, will this virtual championship translate to a sportsman championship in the coming season?
Well, that's yet to be seen, but that's kind of the plan. It's kind of the plan each year, but
okay, we'll be waiting.
The plan changes basically as soon as you hit the racetrack. So
Good plan. I'll be rooting for you.
Woo! Woo! Thanks, Brad.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Well, congratulations, champ.
Thank you. This was definitely a really fun series, really fun online. And for any of you watching that want to be a part of it next time we join, visit USTCC.com. There's a virtual section there. And next time this is up and running, it'll likely be updated there. And then we'll probably get you on the email list.
Yes, it will. The next edition or the next season is still to be decided when it will be. But if there's a lot of interest for it, we might have one in the summer, or perhaps again in the off season during these winter months. So, thank you, everyone. I think we've had an exciting time up here watching the races, and thank you to everyone involved, and thank you for those watching.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Reza. Thanks, broadcasters. You guys are great.
Yep. Thank you, broadcasters. You're great for making this stuff happen.
Thank you.
Fun times here.
All right. Well, I think that wraps everything up for us. Any final comments, James or Brad?
Well, that was an exciting season. That was a lot of fun. It's too bad about Nick. It would have been exciting to see it come down to the wire, but just wasn't meant to be. And
I mean, you got to look at it. It's similar to kind of like the real world. You know, you lost your diff on a practice session, or your transmission blew up fourth gear. I guess you kind of just chalk it up to that's how crap happens when you're racing.
It does.
Very true.
Nothing ever goes
I'm
exactly
definitely driving the BMW next time.
Me too, man.
Yep.
I've been practicing.
I am done with the Renault.
I gotta get used to the BMW.
All right.
Except for wet weather.
Awesome. Well, anyway, I just want to thank everyone who is watching, and thank you guys for having me commentate. It's been a ton of fun. Really enjoyed it, and can't wait for next season.
All right. Thank you, guys.